Okay. Thank you for accepting my invitation in my podcast. Welcome in
Thank you very much.
Sun.
We are here.
We are. And haven't seen each other for so long. It's just like feasting on your visionary features, because I haven't seen you on just pictures and kept in touch.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very important, I think, to hear someone's voice as well.
Yes.
The seeing is important, but voice is very powerful.
Yeah. Yes. So what do you know about voice? Here you go.
My children are fighting, my cat children. Oh, Vicky. You know, challenges are very true, but they pass, and things have to be accepted, I think, as something that is not permanent. The breath is your key. The shining energy that comes in internalized breath, the energy of the breath on the inside of us, allows us to be able to process what comes from outside into our senses. So when I think of answers for questions, my energy has two elements: the breath from myself and the energy from your breath as well.
I always love the way you look, the world around you, and how you perceive things.
It's different. Yeah.
It is. So how is it lately?
I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have, or open a discussion if you feel that's easier.
Yes, talk about life lately as a mother, because when we became friends, we weren't mothers, we were practitioners and yoga lovers. And
yes.
I saw you became mom, and it was a beautiful example of how to move gracefully into motherhood. And I thought that will be easy for me, because I looked after children and I love children. But it's a big wake up for me, realizing that it is so different what I thought about, like even practicing or going back to the mat, and then life forward from that point. Like your children now, older even than mine, so it's been more than 10 years.
Yes, Alexander is 12 in 3 days.
Oh.
And I am not the same person.
No.
But if you look on the outside, I might look similar to this person who I was before I had children. Maybe I sound similar, but cellular level differences are, I am a completely different person. Many changes. And so many changes that I felt like I couldn't keep up. In the first few years, I was confused about where I was, who I was, what I was meant to be, who I wanted to be. So many layers of expectation were inside myself that I didn't know were in there. And yeah, that was hard.
It is. That's what I noticed. And also, there are tools which you don't have it just yet. You just start to develop as your children go.
Yes. The first child always was the most challenging process for me because everything was the first time with him.
Yes.
The second child, everything seemed a lot easier inside me, but he wasn't easier. He was a very different child.
Mm.
So I have learned some things, but I also realize now I'm learning new things every day. Every day. I love that every day is a new opportunity to practice the yoga off the mat.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I feel. So what is the most important change or gain comparing to your past yourself and your present?
That's a good question. Possibly I have more kindness and compassion for myself. And I have more patience with life. I was always rushing to do things and be somewhere to achieve things.
Yes.
And the patience, very quickly, that became my biggest challenge. Having the patience, waiting for the child to sleep.
Yes.
We can understand a lot more can happen when the child is asleep. You can do all the washing and cleaning, and you can do your shopping online. But first of all, the child has to get to sleep. And then this patience just with yourself, because your brain has changed and your whole way of thinking has changed.
Yeah.
So you have this new experience of time. Time becomes stretched and feels like it's going on forever. And yet very soon you realize whole weeks have happened in very short amount of time. So it's stretching and compressing time in ways that never I imagined or even thought to imagine.
Yes.
And that has taught me a lot about patience and a lot about my own level of expectation on myself. Yeah.
Yes, because this stretching of time feeling, that's on the mat as well as we practice, especially in Ashtanga Yoga, as you are learning your series and you are self-maintained in your own little world. But yes, it's so different, so different. For me, its life became more precious too. Yes.
Yes, more valuable.
Yes.
Time is one way of measuring life experiences, but actually just the energy of living has the most incredible value. And that value, when you see your child breathing and then you're breathing and their heart is beating and your heart is beating, you can realize very quickly that you are a part of a very big, long continuum of time and space. The beginning and the end and everything after and before.
Yes, it's good to come back to simplifying things. What I feel. Yes, but it's like such a humbling process to arrive in some sense of presence with yourself and with your child, as you said.
Yeah. So I feel like I have a gift for that I can bring maybe a little bit more compassion, maybe a little bit more understanding to the work I do with other people, because I've been in that humbling and continue to be in that humbling space with my own life, that every time I can give my energy a little bit more to someone else and share some of that gift, I feel gratitude.
Hmm. And how much do you feel your ability to sense energy changed? Because in craniosacral therapy, you were, since I know you, like back in 10 years ago,
Yes,
you were so good at sensing energy. And for me, it
yes,
was like such a strange thing as you explain things, and I
yes.
couldn't feel. And now, as I became a mother, I started to feel so subtle energies I wasn't aware of, like so much is around.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Yes. I think if you have to care with very, very carefully to care for someone else, then you start to really listen to their heartbeat, their breath, how they are resting in themselves.
Mm.
How is their energy field, nervous system, how is their energy field responding to your field?
Mm.
Is there some resistance there? Do you feel one side is more available than another side? Is the front a little bit maybe closed up? Maybe not. The question is the same question with everybody I meet on the table in the clinic sessions. Same questions. How is the field around that person, within that person? How is it relating to their own center? And how is it relating to mine? And then we can join up and I can work with their own nervous system. So it became very clear very quickly that the energy experience of the session was amplified by my ability to really listen closely. And that was really important. After I had the children, it became a lot easier to listen very closely.
Mm.
It was
Such a fascinating field for me, this
yeah,
what you do.
yes.
And it's a gift for your children, really, because as you described that you were rushing and not as patient, but it was a different level than mine even. Like I was just telling my students that one day we were going to your yoga studio in Taupo, and you grabbed your coffee cup and brought the coffee cup in the car, and I was just so amazed that, oh, that's such a good idea, that taking something which is precious for you, which gives you some groundedness.
Yes.
Yes.
Lots of good things can come from coffee to start, but also just allowing yourself to be supported by other people, by the community, by your family, by your environment, allowing yourself to be held as much as you hold someone else in your space for the yoga teaching, for the clinic work, for craniosacral, for parenting, partnering, all of these things. You still have to be allowing yourself as well to be held.
Yes, and that depends on really your ability of your heart, how much your heart can open. Because as you described, this was for me, or this is for me, the biggest learning experience in motherhood. Like getting help, asking for help, and
Yeah,
allowing support.
definitely. Yeah, and because my family is in a different country, I have to use my deep memories for support. And you know, with everything you do, you call upon your own experiences to support you and the experiences of your close family and friends, because we are all here together.
Yes, yes, and that
Even
again,
people who are not here are still inside us.
yes, but that also depends on how much you allow yourself this kindness toward yourself. Like for me, I was very strict on myself for so long. I mean, this is still a process, but I'm much kinder with myself. One of my mentors told me that give yourself more grace, Vicky.
Oh,
That was
nice.
like, first I didn't really understand, but as much as I starting to understand and apply this advice, I'm just like feeling that this is really the kindness, and this is really the support and allowing. Yes.
Well done. That's beautiful.
And how is your teaching?
Well, it is also really a learning curve for me, because I have new students, sometimes 1 to a new students every week. I learn how to relate to them, keep it very simple, continue to encourage them to work with their own intuition, so that they are on their own journey and I am supporting them rather than telling them how to walk the path, whatever that path is.
Yeah.
So yeah, any yoga, any guiding.
Yes. This is the real understanding of yoga or the Mysore style, which is like, I think, less and less, in some sense, coming into the collective, because achievement is so much there, and many people prefers those teachers who just like giving the poses out and the fast road to forward.
Definitely. Yes, well, the fast road, it leads very quickly to exhaustion.
Yes.
And very quickly to frustration. And sometimes to injury of the mind anyway, regardless. But you can understand that. And I think I cannot teach the person in front of me until they're breathing through their nose. When the breathing is there through the nose and the consciousness of the mind is on the breath, then we can begin.
So what do you get them practice only the sun salutations, or do you give them some
after the breathing, the first movement is bringing the hands together up through the front of the space of their heart, past the face, past the third eye, up above their crown, and into the energy above them, the sky energy, the ethereal energy, and then around and slowly down to meet the earth. There's the first movement of the sun salute, which brings that focus right through the vital center. Yeah, that's the first thing. Otherwise, nothing can come. Yes. Nothing.
See, even the sun salutation speeded up so fast, and if you slow down even just that in the movement, it's just so much there.
Yes, it's very giving. It gives you everything very, very slowly. It's building up reserves and resourcefulness, and new energy will come every time.
Yes, even just the first movement. Yes. Yes.
So maybe I have this, like, sometimes if it's been really busy in my day, coming in to teach, the students are all giving me space because they don't ask for much. They know how to work with their own breath. After the first few sessions, they come onto the mat, they make a start, and then we build the energy together as a very quiet space. It's very soft, very slow, and very gentle. And that's more energy in that space than the energy in rushing.
How much I miss that place.
Yes, you're very connected to the space. I still feel that you are connected to the space. Very precious.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we can work on this idea for a long time. We can do these movements. Even sitting, you can do these movements. Even lying down, if you can't sit, you can still lift up your energy through the center of your heart and above your head. It doesn't have to be a complete movement from standing. Because the energy of the heart is moved by the energy of the arms and the touch of the fingertips with the breath.
Yes. See, but this is the consciousness you bring, and if you don't have it, you just can't deliver in that sense. Like,
Yes. So if someone is really tired and they have a little baby and they have no time really in their mind for new things, they simply can lie down and breathe. Just enough to keep that life force moving through the spine, moving through the brain and the nervous system, moving into the spaces around you.
Yes, that's really everything, because the rest is really just for entertainment. You have more energy than you need.
It's an amplification. It amplifies. But it is not the signal. The signal is just the breath moving with the energy of your mind, your consciousness.
Yeah, but for this to notice, you really have to slow down, or somehow get the sense of tiredness in your body, or sickness, or the motherhood, or jet lag, or something.
Yes, it's difficult to do it if you're sleeping. It's difficult if you're very tired. It's very difficult. So you start off, you just do for 1 minute. And then you rest. Rest your eyes completely, rest, everything resting. No effort, just resting. Yeah.
How about your children? Do you do yoga with them? Or
well, they have some knowledge, and they know that it is possible to practice physical yoga. The breath is a little more challenging for them, because I think it's something we learn to use. We learn to use a conscious breath, because very quickly you realize the children are basically instinctive in their breath. It's still very natural for them to just be. If you then learn a little bit of control of the breath, then you can start the yoga. Yeah. So maybe when they're a little bit older, 8 years old, maybe 10 years, it becomes possible to really start the yoga properly.
But I think like Alexander plays the instruments. So this is a kind of yoga as well, because you're harmonizing your breath with the movement. But
I think he's breathing. I think so. I don't know. I actually looked, but it's a good question. It's a really good question. Maybe that is something to explore in another idea, another time. Yeah. Yeah. Singing is very good. Singing her a little bit has the energy. You have to breathe if you're singing.
I experimenting with breathing, like the chanting. That was for me really good. Really changed my voice. But right now I'm experimenting with the seed sounds in the chakras.
Oh, the bija.
Yes.
Beautiful. Do you find that some are easier than others?
Yes, yes. And what is it interesting for me, like I'm building up from down up. And the first two chakras were for me like I was only comfortable practicing silently or with just in the mind.
Yeah.
Not voicing, not sounding. And
Project.
as soon as I reach now, I'm the third. And for here, I can bring my voice in.
Yes.
But that's very interesting. I usually stay 2 weeks with one and building up.
Lovely. So, amazing. Yeah, it will come.
Yes, I guess, and it's like a process. Like I will go back in the beginning and start again. But it told me a lot of stories about my constitution, my traumas, my memories. Why is that?
Yes.
I can't voice it. But I also read somewhere that the silent voicing of a mantra is the most powerful because that's working on the deepest energetic level.
It's
and
very true.
That's what I feel. That's what I feel, that it's just like helping me to move to blocks in my body, which I wasn't aware of, but somehow there is there. And that is because I can't take a step forward in certain situations. So
I think if you have do you have a round stone that you like?
Yes.
That maybe fits comfortably in the palm of your hands? Something a little bigger, it has to be a little bit of weight. If you're sitting and crossing your legs and placing your palms in your lap and then the stone on your palms, and then you do your lower mantra, you will feel that vibration go into the stone, and it will become easier to channel that vibration out.
Thank you.
Try it and see what happens.
Yes, that's because I started to learn a little bit of this cranial sacral work, and also I'm learning a little bit about the nervous system.
Yes.
Applied to the program called Healing Trauma, in which I met Deb Dana, you might know her, and Peter Levine, and all these amazing people who I'm studying with. Yes, it's like so humbling, and also the community. I'm doing it online, but in the community there are even 60, 70, 80 years old persons who sharing their memories. And what is really interesting, as I read it through, I think, oh, it's like a 20-year-old. But then she writes like she's in her 60s or 70s. And I'm just like amazed how life can so quickly pass, and you are still stuck some of your childhood memories.
Yes, well, they can be stuck, but they also can allow you to, they can be a catalyst for change.
Of course.
Catalyst, like a spark for change.
Yes.
So it's possible to perceive the same thing in many different ways.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it's an opportunity, really. And
Yeah.
yeah, an opportunity to integrate, as you said, like
Yes.
knowing those parts of yourself which you weren't allowed in your conscious field.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it's true that things will continue to become more apparent. It's really exciting. I'm very curious now. We'll have to sit down again with another idea. I like exploring these ideas. I feel like you have so much to give. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yes, now I really feel that now I have a message and I have some kind of ground under my feet, because
Yes.
I felt I lost this ground with motherhood, in that sense that I stopped teaching physically because we moved town, and I kind of lost my students. And then the pandemic, and then a lot of changes.
Yeah, that is big changes.
Yes, and even my practice, I couldn't maintain my Ashtanga practice. So to be honest, I only stayed with the sun salutation. That's still there. And that's how I feel like Patabi Joyce said, that everyone practice what they need. And
Yes.
this is my seed, the sun
Yes.
salutation. And I really feel like how much in that, as you said, even just one movement, it's everything is there.
Bringing the feet together is amazing. If the feet, many students who come can't feel their feet to start. So they look down and they see their feet. Oh, look, I have feet. Oh, yes, there's two.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
How helpful. Because to balance on one foot is a little tricky.
It is.
So it's easier to have 2 feet, and then you realize that actually you don't use your feet evenly. Nobody is even in the way they use their feet naturally. Everyone likes one side a little more than the other. And so you start to hear the voices that are in their heads coming out. Oh, I can't balance. Oh, this side's better. Oh, this side is my favorite side. Oh, this side's good, or whatever. And somehow, very slowly bringing your awareness down the feet to the floor, into the space around you, bringing your energy together with the toes, suddenly there's no comparison, because you're now in your system as one with yourself. That's a simple thing, but it takes time. Sometimes the students need to come back to the feet a little wider. Very slowly, they can gradually explore coming towards themselves, coming back to their center. But it takes time. Sometimes it takes months before there is the steadiness in the balance to allow the feet to touch.
Or years, or a lifetime.
Yeah, a whole lifetime of subtle awareness, building an energy field in the mind as much as the body. There's no separation. So, yeah, it is very interesting work. And then when we work on the craniosacral, we always like to start at the feet. My feeling is that the feet will tell the story for most of the body, most of the system. And very quickly, I can feel the balance of forces through the body within the first 30 seconds, 10 seconds even. But it's if I can tell that, I don't tell the person straight away, because I think it's important also that they have an opportunity to experience that without my words telling them what is happening.
Yes.
Yeah. And then after that, I can see that they have felt that, then we can move forwards together into the rest of the system.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
it's such a gift to be with you in your field, in your
Thank you.
goodness, with your thoughts, with your energies, and with your wisdom.
I feel
Thank
lucky.
you for this.
Thank you very much as well. May blessings. I feel amazing. Thank you.
Too. Me too. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. And now I will allow myself to connect with you more and talk with you more, because
We will. This is good. We can do this.
a nurturing. Thank you.
Love you.
Yeah, me too.